Hello guys, welcome to Haymanager, and today I'm going to bring you a video where from last night we saw Florentino Perez, the Real Madrid president, talk about the Super League. He is obviously the president of the Super League as well, and it's just a few interesting points I want to pull up on. So within the context of this interview, he brought up that the club made a loss of 400 million euros this season alone. Now, I've just picked up the financial reports for the 19-20 season, which is, of course, last season. It's not the 2021 season, which we are currently in. It's the 19-20 season. Now, where he says 400 million euros lost, I don't think it means the club's going into a deficit. I think it means that's what they're losing out on. Where he's trying to pull the wool over our eyes is he's not making as much money, is basically what they're trying to say. Profit for the year. So the profit for the year of 1920, I'll put it onto your screens now. I've got the report on my screen here. It's a mere 313,000, which is nothing, which is absolutely nothing really in comparison to what we're going to see previous years. In previous years, they've made, well, in the 18-19 season prior, they made a £38 million profit overall, just from operations. So that's just from operations. We're not talking anything else other than marketing, broadcasting, all that. The amount of money they paid for players and stuff like this, expenses, everything that's been involved, that's how much money they made themselves, 38 million. Now, if you look at the equity for the years, the equity is an interesting one. You look at the balance at the end of June 30th, 2018, 423 million. I've made quite a considerable amount there to go to 51 million. At the end of June 30th, 2020, 486 million pounds of the goods. They were continuously making money. It's only this season that he has had to come out and say that they are not performing as well as they used to, which is a bit obvious. Where I want to try and get with this video is Perez has made a lot of statements about Real Madrid being one of the clubs that has to be a staple in Europe. They have to be. Now, we've seen over the years a lot of clubs have come up, done pretty well. They've not managed themselves to a high degree, and then for a number of years they fall off. So, for example, Real Madrid have had the highs of that treble in the Champions League. It's a historic year, but they're still paying Sergio Ramos extortionate amount. Wage bills so high. All of the players had to take a 10% pay cut. They've not paid their players from the end of 2020, should I say, sorry. I think it was October till December. They've not paid their players, September to December. They've not paid the players. Becoming a bit of a worry to see a club that is still financially within their means. They have so many assets that they can't overcome an incredibly hard time for everyone. And they feel they have to go into the Super League, have this injection of 3.5 billion for them to then keep their stature in Europe. It makes a mockery of what is fair game. Fair play, fair game. Now, we know Real Madrid and Barcelona are in considerable amounts of debt. I've gone on to republicworld.com, which is a reporting website, a journalist website. And we look here, Real Madrid have recorded a massive debt. So we know that Manchester United, for example, are in £400 million debt because the Glazers don't pay off the full amount. They pay it off in installments over numerous amounts of years because apparently that's how money works. So we then get this strange concept where Real Madrid are 901 million euros in debt, but still try to function as a team that are so pivotal in this Euro situation. It makes no sense to me. How you can expand the Bernabeu, decide to buy all these players, they've sold a few players last year. They sold, I believe it was James Rodriguez, they sold, but not for the amounts that they're looking for. They got Bale out on loan, tried to get him out. I mean, if they would have just tried to ship him off to place where he would have been a lot happier, they would have got a significant fee for him, and also they would have got the wage bill off their backs, which is a big one because Gareth Bale himself's on about £500,000 a week. It's ridiculous. So several players were sold last summer. It's interesting. You saw Hakimi go, Reguilon went, Rodriguez, as I said there. It's a strange concept because these are all players that are past their prime. They're never going to get a lot of money for them. They have Varane, Hazard, Casemiro, Modric on big money, Courtois, Benzema, all these big players. They sold Ronaldo for what seemed like, if anything, peanuts, in all honesty. It just makes zero sense. And Ronaldo in himself is probably a massive commercial asset. I compare it to LeBron James when he went back to Cleveland, and the whole city, the revenue the whole city makes and the profits, the whole city had a boom, or state, should I say. Ohio had a boom during that period because LeBron James was in town. Ronaldo going to Real Madrid brings in so much marketing profits. It's unreal. So how they can then come out and say that they are so much in debt. I mean, there's a statement here. In their annual general meeting have revealed they owe a debt in the tune of 901 million euros, according to a report by Sport. The defending La Liga champions are 355 million in net debt. So that's net debt. So that is what Manchester United are in, £400 million net debt, where they have to pay that back over a million years in instalments, of which proceeds of 114 million have been directed towards the renovation of the Bernabeu. So they've renovated the Bernabeu. They want to try and keep this look and this aesthetic that they are the best, that they are the top team in Europe. And I'm afraid, if you look at, I had a look yesterday, just very quickly, the list of the European champions. So we know that Real Madrid created this, European Cup in 1955, where they did win it 5 years in a row against Reims, Florentino, Milan, Reims again, and Frankfurt. Then it got a bit more interesting. I think it then opened up a little bit more so that it became proficient for these clubs to attend these matches, make sure that they could play in this tournament. And then you see Real Madrid sort of exit the equation. There's no Real Madrid team on this until 1997, where they did then again reassert themselves. So Ajax in there, Nottingham Forest won it for 2 years in a row. Aston Villa won it 1 year. Hamburg, we look at Porto, PSV, then Milan came in, Red Star Belgrade. All teams that have managed to do it, and then we see the big giants coming back in, a lot of the repeated teams, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Liverpool won it 1 year, Porto, Manchester United won it 2 years, 99 and 08. Then we see Real Madrid, the big surge again. Real Madrid won it once, then Barcelona won it, then Real Madrid won it 3 times in a row. So it comes in spirals. It comes and goes. Real Madrid won it 5 times in a row from 1955 to 1960. So they won it each individual year. So their time was then, they then had 60 years they had to catch up with everyone. 2015-16, they won it 3 times in a row. They've won it 4 times in 5 years. That was their time again. Now, how you can then say between that time that they functioned as a European elite team is beyond me, because there was nothing to back that statement up. There's nothing to, no one made that statement, but if I'm making it now, no one is going to say that they were elite side during anywhere between 2014 and probably 1959. They had R9 Ronaldo, who was fantastic, Figo, but then the competition during them, they had the Milans, that amazing Liverpool side. It's the look of the draw, and that's what makes the Champions League so good, is to have not just this fantastical concept that everyone can pay to win and have a fantastic manager and the stadium that's that fantastic, this boardroom that is so unbelievably pretentious, if anything. I can't believe that they feel that they should have this. I'm not saying that it's all their fault. They need to have a certain type of backing from the league themselves. You have to try, and the Premier League, and in fact all leagues have to come up with this financial plan to try and loan money to the sides to help them overcome not the losses that they're going to make, but a certain loan that can keep them afloat, have them functioning. And obviously it's gonna differ from whether or not Real Madrid are going to be able to function. That's going to be a large amount of money compared to like your Granadas, who have recently just been in Europe, who are still functioning very, very well. It's where you draw the line on that. So Real Madrid, in my opinion, have really messed up here. Florentino Perez, the amount of waffle he came out with yesterday, it was really, really a shame to see that football is dying in front of us and it's all becoming a financial game. So that is my rant over about Florentino Perez. It's a disastrous position we're in at the moment, but I'm keen to see how this plays through. I think there'll be a plan by each individual league. The Premier League are going to step up now, have a meeting this morning at 9 o'clock, which is, it's just 20 past 9 now that I'm recording this. It's going to be an interesting one to see how this pans out. But I'm hopeful that football will prevail. But we're going to see these oligarchs, these leeches, really try and suck the blood and soul out of football. Hope you had a great day. If you did enjoy the video, please like, subscribe if you are new. I'll catch you in the next episode. Ciao.